All right. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Let's go somewhere.
Let's do it.
North
Hey,
Carolina.
in North Carolina, yeah, that's up next for you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, let's just jump in. I mean, we've got it in drive, I guess.
It
Welcome.
is.
Yeah, welcome to another conversation here with Dad and I. And we have been just kind of catching up on life as we often do before we hit record. And hey, it's kind of something I think both of us look forward to is just that time to connect each week with one another and
I
just kind
sure
of catch
do.
up. Yeah, yeah, same here. And this is our chance to just kind of bring that conversation, just continue it on and share it with you all. So glad you're here with us, hanging out, and where are we going tonight, Dad?
Hey, tonight I think let's head to South Dakota.
Oh, we haven't been there in a little while.
We haven't, and it's time to get back there. And anyway, so we're doing a vacation Bible school out in South Dakota, and this particular church is right close to the interstate. In fact, when you are on the interstate, you can see the church. And not only that, but just about the time you see the church, if you look back up, there's the exit. And so if you take that exit, well, guess what? You are just real close to the church. And so this church, like lots of churches, has lots of visitors throughout the week. Maybe not so much on Sunday, but throughout the week. And this being out in the Black Hills area of South Dakota, lots of people going there every summer and so forth. And every church in this relatively small town gets hammered with visitors all week long. People, you know, driving in, riding their motorcycles in, and people walking in, and they are all showing up at the churches looking for the same thing. They're looking for food, they're looking for clothes, they're looking for a place to sleep, they're looking for, whatever it is. Basically, they're looking for handouts. It was just yesterday morning, I watched a video. It was actually from a news station in, where was that? In Florida. Because what, was it just this past weekend or so, or last week? They had that big hurricane. And one of the churches down there lost part of their sanctuary, but it didn't damage their whatever the other building they call it was behind the church, and that building didn't get any damage at all. And so they opened it up, and they are providing food and shelter and clothing and so forth for the people that lost their homes and so forth in that area. And so here's a church that is reaching out and providing things for people, kind of like people there in South Dakota were looking to churches to do. But they weren't in any dire emergency where they lost their homes and everything. They're just looking for handouts. Well, while we're there doing the vacation Bible school, sure enough, people showed up. And, of course, I don't know anything going on. And so I said, well, you probably want to talk to someone in the office here at the church. And so it's right down the hallway here. Anyway, so they did. And talked with Pastor afterwards, and he explained to me what they have done in this particular town. I thought it was rather ingenious. All the churches getting hammered by all these people just jumping off the interstate when they, see that, hey, this might be a good place to get a handout. And so all the churches in town got together, and they have a room, an office, an office with kind of a warehouse where they have all kinds of clothing, all kinds of household, furnishings and so forth. So if there is somebody that maybe they lost their home in a fire, they can provide furniture and clothing and toys for the kids and so forth. But all the churches went together and kind of started their own Goodwill. But you can't shop there. Everything is free, but you have to go ask for it. Well, what's so clever is this same building also houses the local police department. He said it's amazing how few people show up at our food pantry when they get down there and realize it's in the same building as the police department. And so I thought that was rather ingenious. I guess you could say problem solved. Yeah, if you really need things, if you really are desperate, there's things available, but it's going to be in the same building with the police. And so a lot of people avoided that for that reason. But you know, that reminds me in Proverbs 22:9, the generous will themselves be blessed, for they shall share food with the poor. And I'm all for it, and and sharing food and all for the poor. But a lot of times people are just looking for a handout instead of a job or something, and so go to the police station; they'll fix you up.
Yeah, the irony of that, right? That's right. You think that a police station ought to be a place of refuge and safety along. It was a perfect pairing for having a food pantry and all those resources supplied.
Yeah,
Yeah, people
unless you
just
have something to
self-select, right?
hide.
Yeah, exactly. They self-select. Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
so
a
problem solved.
pretty powerful thing for a group of local churches to band together and meet a real need like that, because you know that those
Yeah,
that really needed it, it was there for them and available, and it
yeah.
wouldn't have been otherwise had those churches not rallied together to solve that particular problem in the community.
And if you really are in need, you're not going to be intimidated by the police.
No, no, I
Yeah,
mean they're there to be a resource as well. So
yeah, separate part of the building, but
yeah,
yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah.
Well, these we have got a couple of ministries, if you will, here in our little town that are dedicated to helping the vulnerable. And we've, as a family, really enjoyed partnering with a couple of them over the years. And it's something special about contributing to like we don't know in our little corner of the world, like our contributions and all, we don't know the per se who is directly helped by it, but we know it's
Yeah,
our neighborhood. Like it's like people that the kids go to school with. It's that sort of thing,
yeah.
and that's as I think is a it feels like a responsibility we have to our neighbor to some degree, that we look forward to, and it's a blessing to us for sure.
I know of churches that have their own food banks and so forth, and have people that stop in. But a lot of times they kind of vet these people and try to determine what their needs really are, or if they really are just scamming them
Yeah,
or needing things. But can you imagine the amount of time that takes and the personnel to do that? And so I guess if all these churches go together and just say, hey, we got somebody down here that can spend the time and they'll
yeah,
sort through your story and see if it's a real need and fix you up.
yep, yep.
But churches are all the time being asked for things and doing weddings and funerals and so forth. And I mean, one event after another. And I don't know if you heard about. Pastor had a strange request. There was two antennas that wanted to get married. I don't know if you heard about
Uh-oh.
that. Yeah, the ceremony was okay, but the reception was great. Let's park
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, let's park it here and we'll pick it up again next week.